Hi everyone and welcome to Service for the Community. I'm your host Matt Blow, and today we have Bill Kuntz from the Optimist Club, Al Avery from Clarkston Rotary, and Bob Apple from the Davisburg Rotary. How are you doing today, gentlemen?
Well, fine.
Very good.
Good.
Excellent.
Right now we're going to start with Bill. Tell us, what is the Optimist Club up to lately? I know there's been talk of the junior golf thing and 4th of July parade happened somewhat recently. Tell us about some of that.
Well, we've been pretty busy. We've had a pretty active summer, starting in May with our junior golf program. We've sponsored a junior golf event for a number of years now, and it's a qualifying event, and people that qualify, or the youth that qualify, can go on to the state tournament.
Okay.
Which is it's a PGA sanctioned event.
Okay.
And the winner, or the qualifiers from the state tournament, can then go on to the Florida tournament for a national or international tournament. And it's a pretty good program. It's for youth from 10 to 18 years old. And anyone in the community or anyone in the surrounding area is welcome to come. We enjoy having them.
Is there any interaction between the kids that are involved and then like actual professional golfers with the PGA?
Not at our level.
Okay.
With the local clubs, obviously, that work with the youth and whatnot, and then of course the sponsoring club that hosts the tournaments. Yeah, they're quite active. And anyway, beneficial. It's a good program. I think there are a couple of LPGA stars, Lexi Thompson, if you follow them, and Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson both have participated in the junior golf program.
Oh, wow.
So it's been pretty successful for us. And then going on into July, I won't say sponsor, but we do participate in the 4th of July parade. We provide volunteers for registration, and then we rope off the route for the parade itself.
Okay,
And,
sure.
that keeps us pretty busy.
Of course.
And then we had then we sponsored a field day. We provided lunch for 400 SCAMP students at junior high school and whatnot. That's pretty successful for us.
Awesome, that's great.
Very good.
That's great. Let's move on. We'll go to Al. Tell us, Clarkston Rotary, what's been going on with the Youth Exchange?
The Youth Exchange is a program that's been sponsored by the Rotary for a number of years. And this year, I believe we had 2, maybe 3 outbound students that from Clarkston area that went overseas. And we have a couple of students coming inbound. So we're looking for host families. And to be a host family, basically, you need to contact us to do a little bit of a background investigation. And then the student will live with you for 3-4 months and go to school at Clarkston schools and, interact with you on a daily basis. So the folks that have done it in the past really enjoy it, and they come back, and we've got a lot of returning folks that want to be host families, but we're always looking for more.
Every once in a while, the media class at Clarkston High School has those exchange students, and it's always interesting to see kind of what they bring to the table and kind of how they react to this kind of media and the Clarkston High School as a whole. It's really interesting. How many kids would you say roughly are involved with that?
Throughout the entire Rotary organization, I can't say for certain. I would say hundreds, if not thousands, of kids every year. We're a worldwide organization, 1,200 chapters, clubs throughout the world. So we get kids we've had them from the Philippines, from Asia, Italy, Germany. They all come in and they love it. It just kind of blows them away. Yeah.
Well, what a great way to learn about your cultural neighbors, so to speak.
Yes.
Neighbors around the world.
Yeah, and we found that to be true because typically when we send the kids out from Clarkston, we talk to them and they come to our meetings and talk about what they're looking forward to, and then they come back and their eyes are not nearly as wide. It just blows them away, the experiences they have overseas. And I know the parents get nervous because they're sending their 11th, 12th grader overseas, and they get a little uncomfortable with it, but they're taken care of. They go and they have a sponsoring club overseas. They have host families that take care of them, and it's always been an enjoyable experience.
Awesome, great. Bob, tell us a little bit about what Davisburg Rotary has been doing in regards with shelter boxes, and maybe if you can give us kind of a polio update.
Well, we currently are sponsoring a couple of shelter boxes, and we have no idea where they go, but they send them out to disaster areas, possibly Louisiana, different things like that. And we're Rotary International has taken on the challenge of eradicating polio, and we're like, as they say, this close. And for every dollar we give, the Gates Foundation matches it 2 to 1. So we're gaining on it. It's almost eradicated.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What are some of the things, kind of going back to the shelter box, what are some of the things that, you know, are contained within a shelter box?
They're pretty much self-contained houses
Okay.
in a box,
Sure.
a plastic box that they can use for a lot of different things. There's a tent in there. There's a heater in there to heat the tent. There's a cook stove in there. Everything is in. They're probably 3 foot tall and maybe 2 foot wide. And how all that stuff fits in there, it's amazing. You can't get it back in there once it's been opened. I'm telling you.
Once you open the box, the
Once
cat's
you
out of the
open
bag, so to speak.
It is.
Yeah, and really it's an amazing program. It wasn't a Rotary program to begin with.
Right.
And it still isn't a Rotary program, but we've kind of adopted it more or less on an international level. And they're $1,000, I think it's $1,000 for a box.
Right, yep.
Yeah, and it's got, like I said, cookware, pots, pans, dishes, everything for up to 6 people. 6 people?
I think it is. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a family.
And when they had the earthquake in, was it Haiti? They're still using shelter boxes, and they're still using the tents. I mean, they ship them throughout the world to these disaster areas. It is pretty amazing.
It's amazing the kind of essentials that you can fit in that box, and how obviously you don't want to be living out for a tent for a long period of time, but
No.
how you can survive off of just something like that for
Yeah,
at least a little while. you know.
Exactly.
It's really amazing. Well, let's circle back then. Let's go back to Bill. What has Optimist Club been up to lately? I know they got some things like Art in the Park and Friendly Forest Company. Can you tell us a little bit about those things?
Sure. Well, the most recent things we've been doing is going out and we've been visiting some of the areas where we provided funds for. We've had one of our meetings at Oats, which is the therapeutic riding stable on M15. We sponsor a horse named Oscar out there for their riding, which helps provide feed and veterinary care for that animal. And then just this last week, we visited Family Farm at the Independence Elementary School, where we're providing funds for a hoop house. And that will be a camp area for students to come and learn about agriculture processes and so on.
Oh, so is it kind of like learning about different types of like plants and things like that? Or?
Students will learn where food comes from.
Sure.
It doesn't come from Kroger in a can.
Right. There's actually a process.
There's
where
a
you have to
process,
farm
yes.
and things like that.
Exactly. So anyway, that was pretty exciting and whatnot. And then coming up, we're going to be at the Art in the Village with our brat wagon, and we'll also have our Buccaneer sweet corn for sale. So stop by and see us there. And then we're also planning a Friendly Forest, which is a Halloween activity for students and families, where the students come in their costumes and they go down the trail and they can meet other people in costumes, and where they'll be getting candy and so on. And they also give them an opportunity to meet some policemen and firemen and so on. And then yesterday's Tractor Club will be providing tractor rides that they can take a ride through.
You
That's
guys do
always
that
exciting.
with Parks and Rec, yes?
Yes, we'll be doing that with the Parks and Rec and Senior. And
I always see a couple pictures of all the different costumes for the kids every once in a while when Parks and Rec comes in and does an update here. So there's always some interesting costumes, some creative costumes that kids
yes, there is. Yeah.
So that's great. That's great. Al, let's talk about Taste of Clarkston and kind of how that tails into the wine tasting.
Right, yeah, the Taste of Clarkston is coming up. I believe it's the first weekend in October this year. They pushed it back a week, I believe. And it's put on by the Chamber of Commerce. But we have a tent that we set up. It's going to be in the Kinetics parking lot this year. And we do wine and I believe some craft beer. So if the folks need a little refreshment when they're out walking and trying the foods, I encourage everybody to come in and sit down and have a glass of wine or a glass of beer. And it does kind of dovetail into what our biggest fundraiser of the year is, our fall wine tasting. We have it every year. It's on October 27th. It's at on Dixie Highway, the greenhouse. Bourdain's. I'm sorry, yes, Bourdain's.
October
Nursery,
27th.
October 27th. I can tell you that. It's from 6:30 to 8:30, And it's a good time. We usually have about 9 or 10 restaurants that come in and provide food, and then we've got wines from around the world. And like I said, it's our biggest fundraiser, and it's a good time every year. And it's at Boardines every year, and they offer the space to us for free, and so they're awesome, and they help with the setup and the takedown too. So
Awesome. Bob, let's talk about the Heritage Festival you guys have.
Heritage Festival is, it starts with a parade through Davisburg. It's September 24th, and it ends up at the park, the community park at Shiawassee Basin. And we are sponsoring an old-time baseball game where all the rules are different.
Right.
It's very interesting to watch. They have a guy out there that explains what's going on as it's going on. And we're having a drawing along with Springfield Township Parks, Springfield Township Library. We're going to have a drawing, so you put your name in the box, and there's going to be some different drawings and stuff for kids and then for adults.
Awesome.
I'm trying to think. Isn't one of the rules where you can throw the ball at a runner and he'd be out?
I think that's kickball, but it probably is a rule. Let me tell you, they're different.
Independence Television actually, I think, came out to the Davisburg Heritage Festival, I think, last year, and so I got to talk to some of the old-time baseball players, and I remember one thing that just stuck out to me is he showed me one of the balls they use, and it was like a much bigger, much heavier ball, and he was kind of, if this clocks you in the head, it's, I mean, not that you want to get hit in the head by regular baseball, but that one had even more heft to it.
Right.
And so there's definitely like, okay. And I think you might have even mentioned that they may or may not use gloves extensively, so that.
I think some people wear gloves, but
Yeah.
and if they're a glove, they're like the old four-fingered kind.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it's not like a modern ball glove at all.
yeah, they used to, at the end of the inning, they'd set the glove down, and then they'd run off the field, and the next guy would come out the other team, and they'd put the gloves on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting to see and just how the rules have kind of even tweaked over the years.
Right.
Is interesting.
Exactly.
Well, gentlemen, do you guys any other closing comments about any of your clubs or organizations that you want to say or that might be coming up or anything like that?
I can tell you the Clarkston Rotary, you can go to clarkstonrotary.org, find out all you need to know about our club. We meet on Monday nights at Buckshots from 6:30 to 8 p.m. So it's a dinner club, and we have interesting speakers just about every week. So I welcome anybody to come out. It's a good time.
Awesome.
Well, Optimists meet on Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m. We're early risers, and we're optimists.
There you go.
Anyway, we have interesting programs. We always have a good speaker and whatnot, so anyone is welcome to come. That's at the United Methodist Church there on Walden Road.
Okay. Awesome.
Davisburg Rotary meets first and third Thursdays at the 4-H Fairgrounds at 7 o'clock in the morning. So we're a little more
A little early, yeah.
And usually we have a breakfast type thing is provided, sometimes continental breakfast or whatever. And it's a good time. We have great speakers, and it's a way to get connected with the community.
Awesome. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for stopping by and telling us about your organizations. That's all the time we have for Service to the Community this month. We'll see you next time.